This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 904. I am Brian Kilby. Radio Free Cybertron is the world's first and oldest toy and action figure podcast going back to 1999, and next week we celebrate our 25th anniversary.
Oh, damn.
I know.
Oh, wow.
With me this week, we have Chris and Rob.
Been
Hello.
here the whole time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Matt.
Hello.
Diecast.
I have not been here the whole
No,
time.
you haven't. But you've been here a darn long time.
A darn long time, yes.
Like a decade.
Yeah.
Or more.
A little
than a
over, I think.
Yeah.
Time flies. Diecast, also here a decade.
Yep.
Yep. And Don, who's been here since
Hello.
the beginning of time.
The dawn
John,
of time.
yeah, John, who is not here, also goes back to the original show. Part of me has thought about trying to dig up some people that have been on the show over the years, but there's so many that I don't even remember. There have been so many people. Not like the format that we have now, that we've had for about the past 15 years, where we, have sort of a round table discussion. Like, obviously, I remember everybody there, but like we've had so many contributors over the years, like just doing segments and stuff, I could never possibly remember everybody without going back and listening. And I've actually thought about doing that.
That would take a long
It
time.
would take a long time. Hey, so coming up at the end of the year, it's holiday season. Don't know if we're aware of that or not, but each year we encourage you, out of the kindness of your heart, to pick up a toy and throw it in the donation box. We're going to share more over the next, couple weeks, but just reminding you that Elf on a Shelf Warmer time is here upon us. So if you want to help out a kid, go to tfradio.net/elf. If you want to do that right now, that goes to an Amazon wish list where we draw no 000 commission or anything like that. And you can pick up a toy at a pretty decent price and drop it off in a box. But soon that will take you to like a page where we'll update you on, hey, where can you get toys at good prices? Like, what are some sales? What wish lists or what lists are out there? But more importantly, where can you actually drop toys off? I'm working on that. I'd like to have that done by next week. But again, there are millions of kids out there that without the kindness and generosity of a stranger would get nothing for Christmas or whatever holiday that you prefer. So have a heart, pick up a toy, drop it in a box, and thank you very much. Okay. God, we are approaching our 25th anniversary.
I think we just mentioned that.
I know, that should hit me harder than it does.
It's hitting me pretty hard.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to wrap my head around it. In my mind, I'm still like 20.
Yeah, in my mind, I stopped at like 23, I guess, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are all older than me. I'm still 13.
Yeah.
If
it-
even.
Yeah. It like literally does not feel like it's been that long since we started the show. Like I can mentally, I still have muscle memory of like using the computer that I recorded this on. I remember that my speaker that I had to turn the volume down was on this. It was a Cambridge Soundworks, if I remember right, speaker. I had to turn the volume knob here on the left. I still remember sitting at that table.
I still do that.
Yeah. So, but like I can put myself there 25 years ago, and it does not feel like 25 years. So much has changed. We'll talk about it more next week. A little bit. Not a lot. A little bit.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
We make no promises either way.
No promises. So this is also something that makes me feel old, because there's a new collaborative project that got dropped today. Project Tails. It's not what we thought. It's Naruto. And in my mind, Naruto,
What?
yeah, Naruto has been around for like 3 or 4 years. What, 20 years?
More
Something
than that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. Naruto actually predates the podcast.
Wow.
Sure,
in
or-
the U.S.
In the US, not quite. Yeah, it was probably about 2002, 3, 4, somewhere in there.
I mean,
in
like
the
Dragon
US.
Ball Z, like predates me, like as a teenager, more or less. Like Dragon Ball Z
yeah.
is like goes back like to the early
89?
yeah. So
Yeah,
but
Z
like
goes back to 89. Dragon Ball itself goes back to 83 or 84.
yeah, but in the U.S., like in my mind, Naruto has been around just for a few years, but now it's like 20 years. Crazy.
I mean, it's already over, and there's a sequel where he has a son. That's how long Naruto's been around.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah, I would say 10 years because I do remember watching this with, or seeing it on TV when my son was younger, but he's 21 now. So
yeah. So what is the toy? What is this?
Okay, so the toy is basically it is a partial, I'm assuming, of Kingdom Cheetor, which turns into Kurama the Nine-Tailed Fox, which is the very powerful like monster that lives inside Naruto, and turns into a vaguely Naruto-looking robot with an effect piece for the Rasengan, which is his signature attack, a kunai, and a couple of pieces to simulate him using his chakra to stand on water. It also comes with a frog. I believe the frog is basically a creature that Naruto makes a pact with at some point in the series and can summon to help him out. I did not read a lot of Naruto. I read what was, in Shonen Jump, which is probably maybe as much of a US Shonen Jump, which is probably maybe a quarter of it. But the frog, I think, is the most interesting part, to be honest, because it's just a nice looking little basic beast figure that core class figure that I don't think we've actually seen used by anything before.
Correct.
Yeah, so
It's extremely Spidor. We
Mhm.
have not had a Spidor in a modern line. We don't know if we're going to ever have a Spidor in a modern line because there is no core class anymore.
Yeah, the the face, the that is the toad face, the robot face, and the feet, I'm pretty sure are all very specific to this like Naruto implementation.
Mm.
So's the Tanto it's holding, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, otherwise there's no reason it couldn't be Spidor. But yeah, that is the set. Chris and I were talking about this before the show. I was really hoping that this would be not Cheetor. Well, I wasn't hoping anything because I didn't know this existed until I logged on.
Right.
But I'm still hoping it wouldn't be Cheetor, and Gigatron would be better, but it's probably Cheetor. But yeah, that's the set. That's as much as I know about what it is. And like I said, if somebody gets it and doesn't want the frog, I'll probably get it off them, and otherwise it's not for me.
I think the pre-orders for this are supposed to drop tomorrow, or maybe next Tuesday. Like I think it's coming very soon.
I'm not getting it.
It is also blindingly orange, which is nice.
So does this thing have like a beast and a robot mode, or is it always this centaur looking thing?
It's it's the
It's Kingdom Cheetor
Yeah, it's Kingdom Cheetor done
with 9 tails.
Yes, with a nine-tailed fox's head and tails.
Okay, so it still has a sorry, it's just I didn't see any other pictures here, and I was just trying to make out. Okay, I got you. Thank you.
I am amazed that you talked around saying make heads or tails of it under the circumstances.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed, Don.
Yeah.
Very disappointed.
Well,
Yeah.
Brian's got enough going on. He doesn't need more bad puns to edit out.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
He doesn't edit them out.
I leave them in. Okay. By the way, take a drink.
Oh, what did you do?
Just bought something.
Well, obviously, you told us to take a drink.
Nothing major.
We'll find out next week.
Yeah, you'll
I
find out
guess.
next week. Yeah, it should be here by Saturday, given the history that I have with this retailer. Well, maybe
see.
not.
Mhm.
That's a hint. Down to Florida.
oh,
Ah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean,
Probably not.
You may get it by that time, but it may just be like embedded in a tree near you somewhere.
It's possible. Yeah. Okay. Evan Brooks shows off HasLab Omega Prime Engineering Pilot 1 in a 1 hour video on YouTube.
Good
No
lord.
offense to Evan, I did not find time to watch the video, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Same TLDR.
What do we think?
Oh, TLDW.
Who besides
actually.
me got this? Did anybody else get it? Don.
Yeah, I
Don,
did.
right?
Okay, the 3 people that I expected.
Yeah.
And Diecast, the one who was mad that it exists in the first place.
Yeah, the
Of
one who's
course
like,
Yeah.
this doesn't count. I'm buying it.
Well, I made up for Diecast's
You bought
lack
4.
of enthusiasm by getting 3.
Yeah, I only bought one,
I
so
bought one.
Don beat me on it.
Hey, my Dragonfly should be here soon. Also,
Oh, nice.
you cannot have my old
Dragonfly
Don.
is, Dragonfly is shipping, and also Giant Man is shipping.
I don't do Marvel. But yeah, so
I do Marvel, but not Giant Man.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I don't have super
I
strong
watched the
feelings.
video. I watched part of the video. It looks okay.
Yeah.
It's what we expected. It's
It is
not
a-
final colors yet.
It is a not quite the original toy from 2000 and 2001.
But pretty close.
But pretty close, and with inflation about the same price. Didn't we establish that with inflation it's about the same price?
Remember,
Kind of hard. Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
math is hard.
It's better
Yeah.
than getting that reissue that Takara did 5 or 6 years ago.
Yes.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
this probably won't have those kind of QC
Defects,
problems
yeah.
for one thing. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say, especially with those QC issues.
Yeah.
So like I'm looking at some of the screenshots here. TFW has a ton of them up in their post about this for people who don't have the time or wherewithal to invest in watching the whole video. The main thing here that is standing out to be like the Optimus in just the base robot mode is like hugely taller than Earthrise Optimus Prime, and that just strikes me as very wrong. Like that looks way bigger than I would want this to be.
The base robot mode should be taller than Earthrise Optimus Prime. To be like the base robot mode is still what, like 7-8 inches? The original toy? It's not tiny.
But it's not huge.
It's not huge, no, but it's a little, I think it's if I remember correctly, it's a little taller than Earthrise Optimus Prime.
I mean, I think the core robot on the original toy was, like chunky Voyager territory.
Yeah.
Because the super mode itself was on par with, I think, like Optimal Optimus height-wise.
Yeah.
So like this to me is looking like just the core robot is about that size. Like this, it seems really over big to me.
Well, you didn't buy it.
That's true, and I feel reassured about that decision.
Yeah, like I'm like Diecast, Don and I'll have to live with the burden of it being too big.
But you can live with it.
Can you live
I
with it?
can. I can.
Yeah. Oh, and actually, now that I'm looking at the photos, yeah, it does look too big.
Yeah, thank you.
It does. It certainly does. Okay. I don't really have any thoughts. Like, this is still a year out. And
I mean, it's
6
not-
months maybe.
how many?
I thought it was like February, March 2025. So 4 or 5 months.
4 or 5 months. Okay.
Yeah. I'm definitely liking what I see. I know this stuff is not final by any stretch of the imagination, but with what little bit I've been able to watch, I am ecstatic to get this.
Yeah, well, you sound it.
Aren't we
Stifling
due
that
for?
yawn.
Aren't we due for another Transformers HasLab?
It's gonna be later,
soon?
right? So it was what, November for this last year, something like that.
Yeah, give or take.
So I believe Evan said in an interview that they moved the timetable on Transformers stuff back. So it will be after the holidays now. So probably about the time this is shipping.
Hopefully
Mhm.
before.
Because there was probably an issue with, multiple HasLabs funding or or being up for order all at once. I know,
Yeah.
having Galactus and Starsaber at the same time killed me.
What's our best guess again as to what the next HasLab's going to be?
Dark Convoy. Didn't we hear rumors about
No,
that?
that's the
That's a-
Titan
that's a
next year.
Titan. That's right,
reveal
Titan.
release.
I mean, they did Death Source right after Starsaber, so I could see Gigatron right after.
Yeah, that makes sense. That would be a,
Yeah.
that would be a good
Okay,
one.
that's another one. That's another one I can skip then,
Yep.
because like there's no way they could better
But
that original
that's
toy.
the
I'm
cast.
Right.
sorry.
They'd have to sweeten the pot as well.
Yeah.
Gigatron is, I mean, shouldn't be like a Commander's class toy from size perspective. I don't think anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
I mean, I guess so. Like the way things are now, like having to get Voyager size triple changers as leader price point to make them work. I could almost see, if they made Gigatron that big. Gigatron was big in the show. Like that
He was.
is kind of a thing. And if they wanted to get a 6 changer to be that size, or probably more likely the full 10 changer, because like there's just a very small mold difference between Gigatron and Devil Gigatron to make the other 4 modes work. But like to do that at a scale appropriate with Omega Prime, like I could almost see that hitting like a low HasLab price.
I'd almost be hoping it would be a rail racer, but I'm not sure those 3 even at HasLab would be. They might be going for a lower HasLab cost on something that's pretty hard to get. I'm just not sure if it would be a.
Yeah, I mean, so like in the show, Gigatron also had a throne, so that's like a thing they could, pre-plan into it, like with Deathsaurus. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see HasLab Gigatron still come in, $180, $200, even, being just a single unit thing that it is, but with the engineering complexity at its size.
So, to me, it still feels a little off. They could potentially throw in like the 3 basic Predacons, and I would totally buy that. I would love that.
I almost feel like that would probably add too much tooling cost to the project, and it would just drive the price up disproportionately.
Still would love
Not a
it.
Grand Max. They could just do a Grand Max.
Not off that fort. No.
No,
for
no,
no.
For Titan, it would be a new mold, and
Yeah.
I mean, for,
Yeah.
it would be a new mold for HasLab,
'Cause-
and they're not going to do a Titan for HasLab, I don't think.
Because as much as I love Fortress
Yeah.
Maximus, that is the most disappointing Titan I've ever bought.
Can we just, get Leo Kaiser? Like, go back to the
Oh.
Victory Well and get Leo Kaiser as the next HasLab?
That would be great. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Leo Kaiser, Landcross, Road Caesar, anything. I would love all of these things.
Violent Jagger.
Well, I mean, that's certainly going outside the box.
Yeah.
Hey, and if they do Volan Jagger, you could use that to get a Botanica.
Everything for you,
Goes back
Don.
to Botanica. So this Super 7 Deluxe VHS Megatron will be repainted as Botanica. I'm certain. So
I mean, these things look nice, but right now, Amazon, tfradio.net/Amazon, has the Goodbye Megatron Super 7 Jumbo Cyborg Megatron for $45.
I mean, that's a completely different kind of product than this,
Well-
but I kind of get your
Yeah, I mean,
your theoretically
Yeah.
underlying point here.
yeah, because this Super 7 is their basic Megatron with less
well,
accessories.
basic would be the reaction.
yeah, this is one of their ultimates. So
Yeah, it's one of
But
the
it's stripped
ultimates.
down, yeah.
It's just like what they're doing with Thundercats at Target retail. They have 1 or 2 weapons. It's completely gutted for not much more than what the regular Ultimates
most of the
goes.
accessories for the Ultimates aren't great,
Right.
so you're not
But
missing out on much.
Right, but I'm just saying, comparing, apples to apples, you can get a Megatron with limited articulation that's bigger and looks better and does a little bit more because it's got the cyborg armor feature for $5 more.
Yeah. Well,
Or
Don,
just-
it's about the packaging.
box.
I know it's about
it's
just
the
sell me the box
box.
for $5.
throw $15 more at the idea and just get the Yolo Park AMK Pro Megatron.
Well, I've
Like,
got that. I mean, I've got that. It's just, I just want the boxes. I could
Boxes
care
are
less about the
beautiful.
figures.
Yeah.
I did want to say I want to get the one that says Macy's exclusive, just so I can have the only Transformers Macy's exclusive ever. Yes.
There's a
I don't
Macy's
think there's.
exclusive. What is that?
That's the Optimus Prime. We talked about that a week or two ago.
It's a
Yeah.
Macy's
Yeah.
exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't remember that.
yeah,
Okay.
the VHS box
Okay.
Optimus.
Cool. Forbes reports that Transformers 1 is expected to hit on-demand streaming on October 22nd. And this is basically, I mean, Paramount giving up.
Yeah, I was going to say yay, also rip.
It's great for us, but it's great for me because I'm going to buy it and I can pause it and I can look at it
Mhm.
and I can study it and I'm going to love that. And they'll get like $30 out of me. But it does mean the end of the theatrical run, and it means they're giving up, and it means the movie is, as much as we love it or really like it, it's a bomb. It's
I don't want to say they're giving up
they are
just
giving up
because things go really fast to streaming now. Like I already
when
purchased.
they bomb. That is true.
I just purchased Deadpool and Wolverine, which I
came
only
out
saw like 2
Two
or
and a
3
half months
weeks.
ago.
I only
That-
saw it 2 or 3 weeks before
That
Prime.
was out
Okay, but
in July.
Diecast, like that movie is still in theaters in my local theater here. I could go on Tuesday and see it for $5.
And you know
And
what?
it's
That
been
may
there
be
since
the case
July.
with Transformers Prime. So, or Transformers
Transformers 1.
1. I'm sorry,
But
but
it won't be.
in this new market, streaming
Diecast is wrong.
will
I'm sorry. You
bring
can just
in
stop.
a lot of money.
I love you, man, but you're wrong. This is you're trying to smoke the hopium, and the movie.
None
is
of
not
us
a
want to
success.
admit it.
None
None
of
of
us
us
want
want
to
to
admit
admit it.
Like,
Oh, I mean,
I-
I will admit it. It makes me sad that it's the truth, but it is the truth. It's the fact of the matter. Like, Transformers 1 is a cartoon. There is not a wide audience for a theatrical cartoon.
There
That's
is.
the long and short of
Yeah,
it.
there is. Like the
Yeah.
biggest movie of the year is Inside Out 2. Theatrical cartoon. The second biggest movie of the year probably will be Moana 2. It'll probably outpace
There is an
hugely popular
oversaturation.
Deadpool and
There is
Wolverine.
an oversaturation of Transformers movies these days.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I think that's kind of the issue. Yeah.
Rise of
Diecast-
the Beast was not that long ago.
Yeah, Diecast is right. Movies do go to streaming much quicker than they did, but this movie's been
Mhm.
out 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it'll be out like 3 weeks. 3.5 weeks.
I
or whatever.
think it will actually be the 1 month mark when
Yeah.
they're saying it's going to hit streaming.
Yeah, that is
Yep.
not good.
No, it's not.
For most of my adult life, like the time frame between theatrical release and home video has been a pretty solid indicator of overall success.
Yeah.
Like even when it was physical things, like it would take maybe 6 months for a bomb and a year for a hit. Streaming, because it simplifies distribution, speeds up that time frame, but the principle's unfortunately still there.
It is possible that the movie could get a second lease on life if it's on a wildly popular streaming service where there's a gigantic audience of people like Netflix it's going to be on Paramount Plus. It's not going to get a second lease on life because it's going to be on Paramount Plus.
Although that will be carried through Amazon Video too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And
So-
everybody has Amazon.
But yeah, more people still watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Like it's just not good. I mean, no, the
Netflix
movie's
has
great.
a better user interface, frankly.
Yeah, much better. Yeah, it's like the movie's great, but this is just not good news. But
Yeah,
it's good for me because I'll be able to pause it.
I mean, over a long enough time frame, maybe this could lead to other things because these assets will continue to exist, and if it does hit really well on streaming, and if it does, and the merchandise sales are good, maybe in the long term, but in the short term, I would not hold out too much hope as to getting more of this anytime soon.
So,
Which is a shame.
yeah,
it
Benny
is.
Kira said the Fall Guy went on digital 2 or 3 weeks after it got released. So Transformers 1 wasn't as big a bomb as that. Looking at Box Office Mojo, it looks to be about the exact same bomb as Transformers 1, but it probably had a larger budget, so technically it probably is a bigger bomb than Transformers 1. Yeah. Not
Well,
good.
I mean, it could still be worse. It could be another gem in the holograms.
Oh my
whose
God.
entire existence has been erased from, all human knowledge.
If I'm not mistaken, the take for the first weekend was counted in the thousands of dollars.
Thousands of dollars, yes, across 5,000 theaters.
I hate to say this. They held so many advanced screenings for this to build hype. Do you suppose that instead what the advanced screenings did, let all the people who were really interested in seeing it see it ahead of time?
Okay, I mean, even if that's the case, I don't think there was a large enough number of those people able to go to those advanced screenings to make that much of a shift in the box office numbers.
Fair.
Okay, the opening gross for Jim and the Holograms was $1.375 million.
Okay, so it was, no, I remember this. So based on the number of theaters it opened in, which was in the thousands, that means they took a couple $100 per theater for the opening weekend of that movie, and then it stayed in theaters for about 7 days.
It made $2.3 million worldwide.
Versus a budget of...
I don't know, but I have to say,
okay.
At least it's not Gem and the Holograms.
Yeah.
Yeah, this made its budget back. The
no.
production budget.
It hasn't.
Okay, so when they list a production budget, that's what the studio spent to literally make the movie, but what they never divulge really is the advertising budget, which includes things like, outreach to the fan community if they want to engage with that in a special way.
Launching trailers into space.
Yes.
Well, that's fine. I just want to go by the facts that I have in front of me, and it said the production budget was 75 million, and they made almost $100 million.
Yes, but the advertising budget doubles that number.
Yeah, it's a general.
They
rule
may
of
be
thumb.
broken even at this time.
It's a general rule of thumb that you double the production budget to get the advertising and production, but the overall budget.
So 150,000.
Okay,
150 million, yeah.
But then,
even
if they hit the 150 million number, all that means is that they broke even on their investment in making the movie, and it would still be considered a failure because they did not profit on it.
Like, it may not even mean that, because I don't know if that counts the split between the movie theater and the distributor.
Yeah, you're right. So I mean, like, they would have to get in excess of twice what the posted.
I don't
know.
No,
but I mean, it's
that.
Right. No, but it's a very reasonable conclusion to draw that just hitting, twice the posted budget might not equal breaking even. But either way, like, they would need to get a solid excess above that in profit before the studio would look at this and say, yes, this was successful. Let's do this again.
Could Paramount have handled this better?
Yeah, they could have added in a few swears and raised up the PG-13 and probably expanded the audience interest a little bit. I think having the PG rating probably limited the expectations.
That's fair.
Yeah. And I think maybe the trailers might have made it out to be
stupider than it was.
Well, yeah, too much of a comedy, and not what we saw later on in the film, where
I was actively turned off by the first series of trailers that I saw.
I can understand that. Like, I could tell from those initial trailers that, like, the production values were good, but it was also a very wait and see case on that for, like, is the writing going to live up to this? And it did. A big problem, though, I still think, is Transformers movies up to this point have largely been action movies starring humans featuring the Transformers as set pieces that they interact with. And, like, we're just in different territory here with a movie that is entirely about the Transformers and all the mythos around them without any human connection for the general audience.
Yes,
like, it was so more directly targeting the Transformers fandom, adult and child equally. Like, it's not that they mistargeted it just toward, like, adult fandom or just toward kids, but, like, it is so focusedly targeting just Transformers interest. Like, it's missing that thing that can draw in the bigger audience that the other movies had.
Yeah, so
even though they were awful.
tfradio.net/discord, Manny Cara saying Paramount should have released it in summer, but it's unknown if it was possible due to the strike. I don't think the strike would have impacted it. I think they were trying to avoid some other films, like Puss in Boots, if I'm not mistaken, came out. No. There's something else. Something else came out.
I said that too. I kind of agree with him.
I don't have any hard facts to base my opinion on, but that feels right to me.
But summer's better, and even if there's another big showing, sometimes that just helps when there's more than one thing at the theater that you want to go see.
Barbenheimer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Which
in another
that's in
universe,
its own category.
In another universe, we could have had Transformenheimer or Barbie Formers.
Barbie Formers, yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine and Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I hate to say it, but I think that it might have just been a bad year to release this movie because at those key points in the year, there was always something that was going to go against Transformers 1 that was probably always going to outperform it. You can't run it at Christmas because, like Brian says, Moana 2 is going to come out around that time. You had, what was it, Inside Out 2 earlier this year. So, like, you can't really put it where, there was too much going on, I think, this year in similar brackets and just of, superior interest levels. There was not a good spot to put that where it could come out and hold its own, at least for its opening weekend. It deserved a lot better than it got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea Inside Out 2 was that popular.
650 million or something like that it made.
It's number one this year. I can't believe
it. Could be number one of all time.
No.
No.
I'm saying, I mean,
animated, yes, it's the number one animated movie of all time.
Animated, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not like Transformers 1 was never going to do money like that, but like if there had been a block of time where they could have released it and did not have like strong competition, like I think it could have easily done the 150 to 200 million globally to at least not be looked at as a failure.
Yeah.
Do you, honest question, a lot of the like good blocks for, movies to come out kind of coincide with times when kids will be more available.
Right.
Do you think like releasing the movie right around the time of back to school was a bad idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Rob, you nailed it. That's exactly right. Hot Wheels Track Fleet Ultra Magnus.
I want one.
Yeah, me too.
Looks good.
I want one. I have not yet been able to find the Track Fleet Optimus Prime in any store I have visited.
The trailer is too small for me. Like, you can't fit another Hot Wheels car on the car carrier trailer.
That is kind of a problem, but I still like the way the thing looks just, unto itself.
Yeah, it would probably kind of, assuming it's called, since it's called Track Fleet, I'm kind of assuming it has to fit on a track. So you'd probably have to make the like trailer like distortedly tall to actually be able to fit another car on it.
Yeah.
Could you use micro machines?
I mean, yeah, I would
small.
imagine.
Looking at
it would fit a world's smallest Bumblebee.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I'm overestimating the size of this, I think. So, is this like a retail sample, or is this like
so like I don't know near as much about the Hot Wheels like environment, but apparently there was some kind of show for interested parties in the correct spaces.
The missiles aren't painted, and I hate that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess of all the problems to have, that's one of the easiest to fix.
Yeah. But it looks weird.
It is kind of goofy that the tiny headlights on the truck and the bumper are painted, but the missiles aren't.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, that could be a similar problem that we see in Transformers, where it may just be a material choices issue that precludes painting that.
That's true. Yeah. Also, I just noticed looking at the side by side of Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus that the paint apps, the paint operations are all just about totally identical. So that probably has something to do with that.
Okay. Cool. Hey, real quick.
All right, take another drink.
What'd you buy? Oh, don't
I got
worry.
the Hot Wheels Bumblebee because I'm like, I'm not going to be chasing that around if I'm going to have Prime and Ultra Magnus. I got to
Okay.
have the Bumblebee too.
Fair enough.
So real
That's
quick,
fair.
just to revisit the previous topic in the Discord, Manicura said there was a Minions movie over the 4th of July. That was the movie that they were trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
avoid. Yeah. So
That
thank you,
explains a
Manicura.
lot.
Yeah.
I
was
forgot
that.
that even existed.
Banana.
Me too.
I try to ignore that.
I
that
wish I
exists.
could. I wish I could forget those existed.
CultureFly TF1 Matrix of Leadership. That's in Walmart collectors sections. Is this separate from the one that you have, Chris? Is this something different? Or what?
Yes. Yeah, because what I have is
This one doesn't light up.
the disguise company, like costume one. This is just like a shelf piece.
Oh,
Yeah, this one doesn't light up.
sad.
And it costs more, apparently.
It's $30. It's a tiny bit smaller top to bottom than the costume one. It's wider though, like the proportions I think are probably a little bit more traditionally accurate to a Matrix of Leadership. And like it is hand holdable. There's some pictures in the article, and then the second link has some size comparisons. It is hand holdable. It's gonna be a little bit tight for larger handed people like myself. But like I assume most people who have been buying the costume Matrix would have it to, set on the shelf somewhere and just have, a Matrix to display. And this would be ideal for that purpose because it's even more detailed and probably will be a heck of a lot easier to get.
Yeah.
I still regret not getting the other one.
Me too. I ordered it from Amazon and they canceled the order.
Aw.
Yeah. Okay, are we ready to jump to what we got this week?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Different.
A wonderful change of form.
Yeah, because Don got at least one thing that I got, and I'm going to beat him to it. I got a comically oversized cup.
Ooh,
This
how
is-
is he?
It's the Triple T G.I. Joe crossover cup, and it is comically large. He is like
He's a bowl.
Yeah, he's a bowl. He's like pretty large leader class size. And the robot mode is actually not bad. He comes packaged on robot mode, and I never transformed into Triple T mode, which is the mode that I want, because I'm kind of intrigued by the giant cup. Like I
Then
don't
what
hate
you
it.
need to do is buy a Triple T to keep next to it.
I've got a Triple T.
Yeah.
I don't need to buy
Well, there
one.
you go.
Yeah.
Well, no, you need to buy another one for specifically that purpose.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so the joints are nice and ratchety. It's actually probably the nicest one that's come out so far. Like I wasn't blown away by Soundwave. This is actually pretty nice. These are getting
Well, they're getting
better.
nicer, so now that means that they're going to get canceled.
Yeah, they'll get canceled. Of course, it came with my first carded 3 3/4 inch Sergeant Slaughter and a leather neck. So, Little People Transformers. Kim found these for me at Walmart or Target. Or I
They
found
should-
them.
them already.
Yeah,
Right,
hopefully
got
they're on clearance.
Yeah. How long have they been out?
Not long. Mine had
A
marked
couple
them down.
months, maybe.
Oh, this first time
At most.
first time we saw them. I've been wanting them. So.
I kind of wish they were in classic Little People style, just little pegs instead of like the modern ones that are like real actual human shapes.
And that's probably the closest you'll ever get to your Weeble Wobbles, Brian.
Yeah, and Bludgeon and Ruckus. So haven't opened them yet. So that's what I got this week. Don, tell us about Triple T Cup.
Well, I will after I show off what my wife got me for our 2-year anniversary. We were keeping it. We had our anniversary on Tuesday. We were
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
I appreciate it.
You got married?
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
We kept it real low key. Just nothing really major. I got her a couple of things, and she got me. In addition, she got me one of those really nice, a pair of those ratcheting belts that ratchet instead of over under. I love them. They're great. The Hallmark 2024 Christmas Optimus Prime.
Oh.
She got me
Nice.
that. And what's weird is it actually looks better than the reaction one, even though it doesn't have the posability.
Yeah.
But this one will actually stand and not fall over.
Yeah,
So-
and it's,
Very nice.
and it's
Hooray.
in a pose, so it doesn't,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to go on the shelf beside of my Volvo Christmas Optimus when I get that shelf done downstairs. So
Incidentally, did they make a reaction dead Optimus Prime? Because him lying there like a
Yes.
corpse is
Yeah,
like
they
the
did.
perfect application
Yeah.
for
yeah,
that body.
they're
Yeah.
yep, they did. Yep. I got from Non-F the Metalhead upgrade kit to turn Party Wop into Metalhead.
Oh yeah.
I didn't get I got the stickers that came with it. I did not get like the whole thing because I'm not very good at flying stickers.
Yeah, there's like a whole collab thing with Toy Hacks.
Yeah, so there's
With that
that.
set.
I find on that using a pair of tweezers really helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Hey Mickey method. I've watched him do it before.
Yeah. I also got the Bludgeon Ruckus set. I may be selling Bludgeon. I don't know. I'm kind of tired of that mold at this point. I did get Cup. I haven't had a chance to open them, but I am selling the Leatherneck and I'm keeping the Sergeant Slaughter. Because I really don't need an O-ring Leatherneck. I went ahead. I wasn't going to get Soundwave and his amazing friends. But then I remembered I've not seen my Netflix Soundwave in a while. So I don't know how yellow he may be by this point.
Yeah.
And if
They'll
he's
do a studio series eventually, Don. It'll
yeah,
be
I know, but I
But
I
they'll
went
probably
ahead.
never do Buzzsaw again. I mean, just straight up.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope when they do a studio series they keep the same tape size. Like I hope they don't start over on that because like
Yeah, so I
That
went
gets
ahead.
old.
I went ahead and got that. The last thing I got on topic was Commander Optimus Prime.
Nice.
I got him. I like him a lot. He's one of those that you kind of gotta get everything right in alignment for it paid together. It's like I can't get a couple like there's like that little section won't under
Yeah.
the wheel well won't quite peg together.
So I think that's a result of the heel panels not being engaged correctly between the thighs and the back of the cab.
Okay,
So I think that's something you're gonna have to work on kind of massaging into place a little bit more.
right. An odd thing that I really like about this figure is how clean the back of the truck looks.
Mhm.
Usually, a lot of Optimuses, that back where the hitch would go is just it's like the Rise of the Beast Optimus. That one did not have a
Yeah, I mean it's a common place where they hide a lot of the crimes of the transformation engineering because I mean for a lot of them they there's a trailer to go over that and cover that up. This one has a trailer, but it's also just like really clean back there. It's pretty impressive that way.
It is. So, I mean, just really glad I got him in hand. And I really hope, I really, really hope this is the last G1 Optimus Prime that I have to buy.
It's last,
Okay, I mean, okay, but are you going to buy the deluxe legacy toy based one? Because if so, then you've already
Yeah.
disproven your
Deluxe. Oh, that's on order, but that's kind of
it's G1 Optimus Prime, Don. It
it's
counts.
Yeah.
G1 Optimus Prime. Yeah, but that way I can like put
That's a G1 toy Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Completely
like
different.
it's like I can put Missing Link Optimus on the shelf and not take him out of the box because he looks so nice, and then just have that one like as a I don't know, it all depends. But yeah, that's all I got on topic this week.
I'll go next because I'm just
Sure.
going to follow up Don with more thoughts on 86 Optimus Prime,
cool.
which I finally opened over the last week. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I hope this is the last 1984 Optimus expression that we get because, like, with Earthrise, this and that deluxe one that's in the process of being released, I think we've reached the pinnacle of science on 1984 Optimus Prime in every conceivable way. We've got the toy revisited. We've got MP10 revisited in Earthrise basically at a simpler, cheaper form, and we have a much nicer MP44 in this Commander class toy. Like I don't know how you could express Optimus Prime again in a different way in this specific iteration and do anything that hasn't been done already. So like I hope Don's right. I hope this is the last one we will have to think about buying. I know it won't be, but like if there was ever a stopping point for making this version of Optimus Prime, this is it. Because like this thing is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I love it a lot. The robot mode is so clean and well proportioned. I was also so pleased to find that this has a very similar property to Studio Series Ultra Magnus. Where with Magnus, the shoulders look super wide in photos and video coverage. In person, the proportions fit a lot better. The backpack on this is so much less intrusive in person in 3 dimensions than it looks in any image I had seen of it prior
Nice.
to handling it myself. It is still obviously truck origami back there. It's not like particularly clean looking or anything, but it's much, much less intrusive than it would have otherwise seemed to be.
Yeah. And if you look at the legacy of the primes over the past 5 years, Siege
No, that's
does
next year's line.
That's
Yeah,
next
next
year's line. If you look at Siege Optimus, that's still a good looking toy.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a Cybertron mode that isn't a bag of knives or just a bunch of, or like, the Fallen.
And its
That's-
robot mode is really nice.
Exactly.
is.
So I think a lot of us were mad because Earthrise, they knew Earthrise was coming when Siege was coming out. So it's like we were all a little mad about that, but the Earthrise one is still very solid.
They knew that Earthrise was coming maybe when Siege was coming out, but not when they started designing the Siege.
Well,
Optimus
okay, so
Prime.
like,
I
well,
would
I mean,
I
they-
would dispute that personally.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, I'm
they've-
pretty sure they planned out that whole trilogy.
Yeah,
before they
they've
started
talked-
designing
they've-
the thing.
they have talked openly that since 2016 or 2017, they've started planning the trilogies out from the beginning, the whole 3-year set at a time.
So, okay, fair, but the design probably wasn't done. All of that stuff, all of the engineering work, and like they still do that in sequence. Like,
and
Yeah.
like
you
it's
know, a new
not
Optimus
ex-
Prime will come out every couple
Yeah.
of years. Like that's
And it's
not a
not-
secret.
And the problem wasn't even exclusive to Optimus Prime, because you could say that about half of the cast that they did in Siege that got follow-up toys in the Earth modes. Like, Siege is just an interesting exercise they wanted to do because stuff like that hadn't been done before. But anyway, Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime.
Right.
Yes, Don?
I was just gonna say we have a wide variety of Optimus Primes in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
We're good.
I mean, we could at least take a little break.
I mean,
like,
you could do Energon Optimus Prime. You could do
Power Master
Cybertron
Optimus Prime.
Power
Well,
Master.
I'm talking
Optimus
about
Prime.
just G184 Optimus. I still want a Power Master.
Yeah.
Would I buy
Yeah,
this?
but
as
that's
like,
what I'm saying is we know they're going to keep doing Optimus Primes, but they don't have to do this Optimus
I mean,
Prime.
the Action
Exactly.
Master
Right.
Optimus Prime that transforms.
Yeah,
I mean,
we already
Select-
got Armada Optimus Prime, and that is pretty much perfect as
Yeah.
well. So
And Select Star Convoy comes with Action Master Optimus Prime that transforms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I
it
meant
does.
I meant the truck. I meant the vehicle.
Oh, you want the Battle Convoy?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be cool. I was thinking the same thing about Megatron's Neutro Fusion tank.
Yeah.
Although that's basically G2 Megatron anyway. But
It's
no,
different.
like, so I always complain about the proportions of Earthrise Optimus, like the torso being so short compared to the length of the legs because of how they tried to work the pelvis design just into the thighs, so they didn't have to worry about how that would affect the leg posability. Like, they totally used the parts count on this to work around that. He's got a perfectly full length torso. The skirt panels on the pelvis are all pin hinged. On my copy, that's a little bit tight. The front two panels want to move together, but they are designed to move independently. So it's not like a Studio Series Ironhide situation where it's all or nothing. Even the back flaps flip up, which is mostly for transformation, I think, but it's good to have there just for general posability purposes. It's got that like flip forward butterfly joint at the shoulders to help with the like holding the matrix pose, and like it's so easy to overlook that joint because that butterfly joint clips in really securely into the torso, and unless you pull it out just right, it actually is holding so tight that you almost can pull the sides of the torso a little bit away from the neck panel. Like, that's how securely that holds in there. You're not pulling the arms out of the body by accident at all. All the joints are really like that. They're very tight. The tolerances are so good on all of the joints on this toy. I don't think there's a lot of ratcheting, if any, on there, but like they're just built so well that they hold up anywhere you need them to. And just this thing is so clean. Like the backpack, again, truck origami, but every other part of this is just so clean. There's no gaps. There's no nothing. There's MP44 looked amazing for being a transforming Optimus that hid all of the unnecessary truck parts and got that cartoon look. And this does it in like a third of the complexity at a fraction smaller price. Like it's amazing what they have done with this. And I've just got to throw like a lot of specific praise at the head sculpt on this. It is easily the most perfect cartoon head sculpt we have gotten for an Optimus Prime in generations, if not like just at all. Like it is so spot on to especially how he looked in the movie, which is the whole point. Um, I could almost see like a variant of this getting done with a slightly different head sculpt to reflect the season one variation of the head design, where the primarily where the faceplate is more of a round shape than the like hard angular version that it was in season two in the movie. Um, but for all intents and purposes, this is your perfect cartoon Optimus Prime robot mode, and it is just so impressive what they did with this.
Well,
Um,
there's
yeah.
one thing I want to add, Chris. I watched Bobby Skullface on YouTube, and
Take a drink.
and drink, but he did review this figure. Now, Bobby is not a heavy Hasbro person. He does more third party and things like that. But when he reviewed this, he said this was one of the best Hasbro figures he's ever reviewed. And I'm thinking, what does that say about the figure when a a heavy third party person says that about a Hasbro figure?
Well, and
I
I've
mean,
I've heard people say too that handling this reminds them of handling some third party toys. And they mean that in a good way, as
yeah,
Brian's
Maybe.
grimacing
yeah,
over there at the
Maybe.
comparison.
right. Well, I'm just saying it's interesting. People that normally buy Hasbro product are still impressed by this figure. I think that's a testament to the work they put into it. I just hope whatever Megatron we get to
Lives up to it,
complement
yeah.
this lives up to what we're seeing in this Optimus.
It's a fantastic toy. It feels like a masterpiece in hand. So
Yeah,
if that's
I mean,
if that's what we mean by third party, sure.
yeah, I mean, that's probably what it boils down to, since so much of third party is masterpiece alikes. Um, the transformation on this, for the most part, is easy, makes sense. The problems I have with it mostly come down to parts fit in a couple specific places. You have to do a head flip early in the process, and that panel catches at about 95% of its rotation. And you have got to apply just absolutely unreasonable amounts of force to that to get it to go the rest of the way and pass that blockage and get up to the level point for truck mode.
Yeah, and
Um,
his ears are also something of an issue. Trying to get them low
that's
enough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really find that to be a problem. You can kind of tell when you've got them far enough forward. They just need to point mostly forward and they're good to go. But like doing that head flip it's the most challenging part of this, and it just comes down to the tolerances in that cavity are too tight. The other thing is what Don was talking about, where it can be a little bit tricky to square up the back of the cab to the back of the cab, the bed of the truck basically to the back of the cab, and that comes down to you just need to learn how to do the panel massaging to get the pieces to engage correctly. Um, there's a little bit of learning process to getting everything to fit right, but the essential elements of the transformation are pretty intuitive and make sense and are not difficult steps to do. Like I remember the horror of people trying to transform MP44 to get something that looked like this robot and that truck, and seeing this in comparison, having this in hand, I almost want to laugh at how overwrought that Takara thing is. So unnecessarily overwrought. Um, and the truck mode, like I'm really surprised and impressed how nice that truck looks. Like it's much cleaner than I would have expected for how it transforms. There's panel seams, like there's always panel seams on these things. They're not terrible though, and like it closes up tightly. There's no like open spaces. The one bad place on the truck is just the very back of the cab where you have the flanks of the robot torso compressed together back there with nothing to cover or hide them. They don't integrate any. They just stick out of there. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying before about crimes of transformation engineering. Like that's there, but when you put the trailer on there, it's basically hidden at that point. So like I hate that that's there for when it's just a cab by itself, but when the whole unit is put together, it's not that big a deal. It just kind of stands out because both modes otherwise are so complete and clean and gap free that that one space right there where a little bit of robot parts shows through is really conspicuous for being the only one like that.
Yeah. The smokestacks are really twirly whirly though. It's
Yeah, I think
Weird.
okay, so
they
I've
kind of they
go ahead, Don.
kind of don't have like a stopping point. They just
They do. They do. I could see individual tolerances making that work
yeah.
better or worse.
Yeah.
So what I have determined with this is that the smokestacks being, as Don eloquently puts it, twirly whirly, is basically a safety compromise because the where these are and how tall the smokestacks stick up and the stresses that can get accidentally applied there during transformation, the options here would have been to make these soft plastic pieces that can't break, or to make the smokestacks cut off right at the top level of the shoulders, like the 2003 commemorative series reissue. So I think having these be on a swivel with a good enough catch comes down to that's how they can have decently long smokestacks that look right without it risking breaking during basically normal transformation handling, I would say. Like, it's just really easy to knock these out of place. And I think that kind of shows that in transformation, stress gets applied to those that could ultimately snap those off, especially if you're not being very careful with it.
And I wouldn't be.
And the trailer itself is really nice. Great big thing. It's totally well proportioned to the cab. So I want to be clear. I don't think that Hasbro directly, purposely like copied or stole from what Nanef did with their upgrade kit for Earthrise Optimus Prime's trailer, but I think Hasbro's team probably did look at the fan responses to the Earthrise trailer, looked at what people were doing to improve on that themselves with aftermarket stuff, and then tried to incorporate some of those ideas into what they would hope would be the ultimate version of Optimus Prime's trailer. Because, like, there's pieces to this that feel similar to an upgraded Earthrise trailer. Um, so again, I don't think I would not call it stealing. I would call it just responding to what the fan community was, how they responded to that Earthrise trailer and trying to make those problems right. I love the roller that comes with this. It's a really nice chunky thing, which it seats Titan Masters. I love that little bit of backward compatibility. Nothing really calls that out, I don't think, but like it's totally doing that the same way the non-F1 did, and that was a really cool feature of that. The repair drone, multicolored, it's got, a bunch of moving little parts on it. The inside of the trailer has a lot of sculpted detailing, no paint to pick it out. And of course, you could, probably do like a toy hack set or something to get the toy detailing laid down in here, but you'd cover up all that stuff. Well, I would just love to see someone go at the inside of this trailer with paint, like just do all the little detail work in there and bring that out the same way the Missing Link one I think works, where that's picked out that way. Because like there's so much in here to really express like that with the right color layouts on there. And it's a shame that it couldn't be like that out of the box, but to be cartoon accurate, the inside of the trailer was just flat gray anyway. So having the molded detail there is at least a good starting point if somebody wants to take that to the next level. And it's got the little clips in there too, so you can store like the blast effects and stuff, and the rifle can clip on in here somewhere too. The rifle itself, it's pretty fair size. It's not the biggest one that's ever come out. It's not like particularly tiny or anything. I kind of have a soft spot for the Earthrise one that folds in the middle and can store in the backpack. Like that was a neat little play feature with that. This is just a static piece, but it's nicely made, and that's actually one thing I wanted to talk a little bit about specifically is Optimus Prime's hands. So these are some pretty nicely designed articulated hands. So it does the normal thing of like articulated index finger, and then the block of 3 fingers after that are articulated as one unit together. It's got the shaped cutout around the thumb to hold 5 mm posts. But when he's not holding anything, basically what you end up doing is balling the hand into a closed fist, and it's a surprisingly natural looking closed fist for the basic level of finger articulation this has. Like other toys that have this level of that and you try to curl that into a fist, it just kind of looks weird and wrong. But like this lines up where the angles are similar to how a human hand angles when you make a fist. Like it's really subtle things like that that clean this up. And while we're used to the idea of the fist being closed around a 5 mm opening, it's really neat to have one that can actually just close its fist all the way and it looks basically right. And I love that the attachment for the Energon axe is you flip the hand around and there's a little post on the other side to plug into instead of it clipping over top of the hand like a lot of other stuff does that uses that feature. Um, this is just such a good Commander class toy. I'm so pleased with this. I do regret that probably the Optimus part itself is too big and material intensive to ever manage to come out as a leader by itself. Because like there's so much more they could do with this. I would love to find a way for this to just get released without the trailer in different decos. Like I'm gonna rule out like a Nemesis Prime probably because this is so cartoon focused, but like there's plenty other stuff you could do with this along that line, not the least of which of course is the Dark Awakening Prime that we've been waiting for forever for every Optimus Prime that's ever come out. And like I think you could probably do that with not a ton of remolding either because like it's got those separate flank pieces, so it wouldn't be that hard to swap one of them out with a new piece that reflects the damage and pop a new head on there where half of the face is missing. Like there's definitely ways to do that without going like super overboard with retooling. But yeah, like I like this is the same kind of model as Commander Rodimus Prime. And I know people had issues with the value proposition on that, but like this feels so much like it lives up to that just in the Optimus Prime by itself. And then the trailer is a great bonus on top of that because it's like the first retail full size right proportions Optimus Prime trailer we've gotten on a toy like this. Like I cannot say enough good things about this. I'm so pleased with how this turned out. Like expectations were so high on this, and I would say it exceeded everything I expected of it.
So, is it your favorite Commander class toy? And if not, what's your favorite?
Skylinks.
I was going to say Sky. I was going to ask you if you liked it better than Skylinks or not.
No, I think Skylinks is still like the platonic ideal of a Commander class toy. Because like it and Jetfire are the only two that have used their entire Commander class price points to be just the one thing. Every other one has been a core figure with other stuff. And like Rodimus and Motormaster are fine. I'm sure Magmatron and Armada Optimus are fine in their own ways too. But like
Optimus is so good.
But like this just feels like it does everything it's trying to do right, and everything it's trying to do is so good. Like there is virtually nothing wrong with this toy, which just amazes me to say. Like, remember the Hall of Fame thing? They had this on there as one of the choices for Toy of the Year, and it's like nobody has this in hand yet. How can we make it Toy of the Year? Everybody who voted for this in absentia for Toy of the Year may very well have been right.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
I think it is. Cool.
Anyway, that's my long and rambly gush about Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. So everybody buy one of these.
Yeah.
And then never buy another 84 Optimus Prime again, I hope.
Now, do you think they will dry up like Magnus did, or do you
Yes.
think that? Okay.
Yes, I do.
Even though it's Optimus Prime, I think that will happen.
Yeah, because they are careful with their commander class production runs, especially since about half of them have gone to some level of clearance when they've been on store shelves. Like I think Motormaster was the first one that didn't, and that was one where they kind of controlled the production levels. Uh, Jetfire famously did at Walmart. Rodimus Prime did also at Walmart, and then Walmart stopped carrying them. So I think they've dialed back the production. So yeah, like any kind of commander class, I think if you want it, generally get it in the pre-order phase. Certainly reissues happen and are very possible. Armada Optimus Prime was reissued just this year already. And we've had at least one reissue of Jetfire and maybe also Skylinks. I can't remember if that was something that had been on offer, but like
Yes.
I want to say there's probably been a reissue of Motormaster as well because I keep seeing it on in stock at Amazon.
maybe
Well, it did.
Magmatron is still in stock as well on Amazon.
Yeah,
I believe.
Motormaster, I think, did get a second run because he was out everywhere, and then people started, like Big Bad, started putting up pre-orders up for Motormaster. I only saw 2 Motormasters in the wild, and then I never saw it again.
I think I saw it once.
Wheeljack64 says he thinks Evan said something about trying to make this more widely available, but also still err on the side of caution.
Yeah, Diecast, what'd you get?
I got the Bumblebee reactive. Is it reactive or reaction?
Reactivate.
Reactivate. I got that Bumblebee.
Yeah, I saw that this weekend.
He's really nice.
Did you
He's
get
a
the 2-pack?
large. No.
Oh,
So he's a large deluxe, which I like the proportions on him. It's definitely a new take on the character. I thought the transformation was interesting. You could tell it had that pre Earthrise or pre, that trilogy
Mhm.
vibe. It felt like a very old design, but old in a good way. As in where the transformation was still interesting, not super complicated, but not super simplified. Just everything pegged in perfectly. The guns could even peg in underneath, or you can put them on the chest. I just think it was a really well done figure, and it really shocked me that I liked it as much as I did because I ordered it just because I was like, I think it was like, it's in $25, it's deluxe, and I was like, I'll just get it, and it surprised me.
So did you get the you didn't get the 2-pack of that, I assume, since you hadn't
Right,
handled the
yeah.
Bumblebee. What about the Optimus and Soundwave 2-pack? Did you get that?
I didn't get that either.
Yeah, because like those also had the same kind of feel. Like these toys were designed, many years earlier than other toys coming out today had been. And like those also feel that same way, like they are from an earlier era because, well, they are probably not as early as it actually feels like, but not too far off. Like I think those were designed in parallel with early Siege.
Okay.
Anything else?
What else?
Oh, that's it. Because I left for North Carolina Tuesday, so I got that and opened it before I left. But
Cool.
there is a ton of stuff that arrived at my house, and my wife's gonna kill me. That that's all I got before I left.
Sweet, Matt, what'd you get?
I have nothing.
Okay, Rob.
Holy crap! I have more to talk about than Diecast does for once.
Wow.
Mark your calendars. But no, I got 2 things. That's how much more I have. I got both of these were on sale on Amazon at various points. I got Studio Series Transformers 1 Optimus Prime, and that is not a bad figure. It looks good in both modes. Transforming it was a bother the first time. Gets easier. Not particularly taxing. It just, again, it has one of those things that I'm growing to dislike more and more about Transformers, where it's like you have to align all of these tabs correctly on all of these free floating joints for this thing to be a coherent vehicle. Like, it's a pretty standard part of Transformers construction at this point, but also it just bothers me. But the other thing that bothers me is the fact that the guns on the front have to be removed for transformation. That's just never been a fan of that, and also just the fact that they store in kind of a weird place in robot mode. Like, they plug into the backpack part, which is otherwise very clean, and like they do at least point forward, so that they could actually be usable. But just it's not a part I'm a big fan of. But yeah, overall, as a robot, the only part I'm not a fan of there, besides the guns, is the like hinged, like full-on skirt plate. It pops off very easily for me, and it's just kind of a weird, awkward piece in a way that I don't really feel like it was necessary. But yeah, like I said, beyond that, it's pretty good. I probably have G1 Transformers with fewer moving parts than are in those shoulders. But yeah, it's not bad. It was like, I think, want to say $17-18, and yeah, worth that, I'd say. The other thing I got for about the same price during the whole Amazon big deal days thing, tfradio.net/Amazon, I got Legacy Cybertron Hotshot. And yeah, that is probably, bearing in mind I don't have Commander Class Armada Prime, that is probably like the narrowest gap in quality we've seen on the Unicron trilogy remakes, which tend to be like smaller, not quite as interesting versions of toys you got for half this price 20 years ago. This sounds like damning with faint praise, but if you can't get a hold of an original Cybertron Hotshot, this is a perfectly fine substitute. It is a nice looking figure, easy to transform, nicely articulated, has just about all the same paint the original did, I'm pretty sure. Has a comically tiny Cyber Planet key, which is only barely larger than a chiclet. And the wings, of course, have to be folded out manually instead of popping out when you plug that in. The one thing it does significantly better than original Cybertron Hotshot is that there is a nice little latch that locks in to hold the large backpack assembly in place. Like, I seem to remember, especially on the Excellion recolor, that piece was kind of like that whole back of the toy was on like a single peg that depended on tension to keep it in place and aligned on the back, and that often didn't work very well. But yeah,
Getaway was the same way.
Yeah, this has a nice like, again, a nice latch that just keeps the backpack in place, keeps it from spinning, keeps it from flopping around. It's to be honest, like, except for a few joints, of course, ankle tilts, it's the only like legit addition to the original toy that this makes, and it's a good one. But that is the extent of what I got this week.
Very cool. Let's jump to off topic. Ham sandwiches. It's the patron exclusive portion of this segment where we talk about things that aren't Transformers. So I got a couple things this week. I got the Man-at-Arms from Origins, the new animation version
with the white armor.
Nice.
Yeah. No, it's like normal color armor.
Oh,
yeah, I got that. I got a couple of the 60th anniversary G.I. Joe figures. I just saw them sitting on the shelf, and I'm like, I don't have these. That's what I got this week. Don.
yeah. Well, when I ordered the Metalhead set, I went ahead and got the non-upgrade kit for Metalhead, who gets some more accurate some better looking missiles. Big Boa that gets the punching bag, and Tripwire gets some more mines. So I've got those when I got the Metalhead upgrade kit. Target is reset their clearance section, and they put out some new stuff. There's a Netflix series called Ultraman Rising, which is an original series for the Ultraman franchise, and they're doing a Marvel Legends style figures for the series. The original Ultraman that I grew, well, I didn't. It came out a year before I was born, but I caught it in syndication. The original Ultraman and the one from Rising. And Target has sale going on this week, and it did qualify for the sale, so I got both of those. Part of that same sale was I got the Sinestro from McFarlane's Batman and His Amazing Friends line. This is the version where he's bonded with Parallax, the fear entity itself, which I thought would make a nice thing to go against some other Green Lantern figures. From Valaverse, who is doing a G.I. Joe classified style line. They're doing a special figure for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it's their Steel Brigade female trooper done in all pink, and part of the proceeds are going towards breast cancer awareness with several large foundations. I don't think Susan G. Coleman is one of them. It's some I've not heard of before.
So Don, is this a G.I. Joe license line? Is this a third party KO
Well,
sort of deal?
Bobby Vallow was a designer at Hasbro, left, and then wanted to do his own line of stuff that he wasn't. He worked on
So
classified,
it's like
but
every other
No, it is
Kickstarter
not
company.
G.I. Joe.
Okay.
it's not okay. Yeah, it's not GI Joe, but it can be incorporated into a classified line. But I thought it'd be nice having one
Sure.
of the lady troopers to go with like Cover Girl and her brigade and stuff like that.
Sure.
I got Retro Stalker, who's a great looking figure. I decided to get him. And then I got the same ones you did, Brian. I got the Sniper.
Yep.
The Halo Jumper.
Yep.
And I got Road Pig.
I
See,
just got Road
those
Pig.
are Action
No, I'm sorry,
Marine and Action
Raptor. I
Pilot.
got Raptor. I'm sorry.
I did not get Raptor. What, Rob?
I said those are Action Marine and Action Pilot specifically, I think.
Cool.
Yeah,
There's what, like
because
6 of those total?
four of
Probably
these
should be 4.
Yeah, 4 of these anniversary ones with the
There's
deluxe.
already 2 that came out though, right?
Yeah,
I think, Soldier and Sailor were first.
So
Yeah,
there's
and
another
then
one coming out, a 5th one, who's like a female.
yeah, that's
Oh.
that's the Marine Sniper.
Yeah, she's like a lady Marine sniper or something.
That's
that's her. That's her, Action Marine Sniper.
I need to see what I got. I don't think I got that one. I think I got something else. Hopefully, so I did. I almost ordered the other one from CMD store. I'm glad I didn't because I may have that one. Okay. I don't know what I have and what I don't.
Mood.
Yeah. Diecast, what do you have?
I got a couple Lego Speed Champion figures. Those I really love. I think I got the 2-pack of the BMW ones. They were on sale this week just because all the Amazon sales and Target sales and Walmart sales.
And Soupy sales.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
that.
So it was I got that. I got Droidica, the Star Wars Lego Droidica. That was also on sale. I feel like there's another big Lego set that I'm forgetting. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Just a couple Lego items.
Matt, what
Can
you
the
get?
destroyer? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Rob.
Can the destroyer droid turn into a wheel without any kind of part swapping or anything?
I've seen pictures. It can go into a ball.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, I'm interested to see how that works once I can actually build it.
Yeah,
bet-
report back after you do the build. I'm kind of interested to hear about the engineering on that.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a figure that actually does that for 25 years. So
Yeah.
curious to hear how that comes out.
Cool. Matt, what about you?
Nothing.
Chris?
Nope.
Rob?
One thing, Target Bullseye deals. I probably got more things, but this is the one that I feel like is worth talking about. Target's eBay store, Bullseye Deals, frequently puts up things on clearance and then puts like extra discounts on the clearance. Gotten a couple of good Bandai model kits from there. Got Boba Fett from The Mandalorian with parachute pants. I got a figurized standard Naruto, actually, just because it was down to like $12. And it's like 3 times that on Surugaya right now, because I don't think there's been a printing as recently in Japan as there is here.
Oh, yeah.
But what I got this week is a part of the Jurassic World, like 3 3/4 inch series. It is, I'm assuming this shows up in one of the movies. It is a clear bubble shaped transport that seats 2 figures and comes with the 2 figures and is remote controlled. So I got Chris Pratt in a remote controlled hamster ball for $8.
I think that is a thing in that movie. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
yeah. So
cool.
I still have not put batteries in Chris Pratt's hamster ball, but I will report back when I do.
Well, just be careful you don't drive him off a ledge, or you'll have a pratfall.
Indeed. But that's all I can think of that I got this week that's worth talking about.
Very cool. I want to thank our patrons at patreon.com/tfradio. You should sign up to be a patron if you're not. Get a lot of cool stuff. Patrons get an ad-free version of Radio Free Cybertron. You get it a day early. At a higher bit rate. You get the complete What We Got This Week segment from the podcast, including the non-transformer stuff, which is what I've been meaning to put in here for like weeks and trying to rack my brain. I'm like, we do something else. I can't think of what it was. Literally, after we do that segment, I couldn't think of it. So, that doesn't comment on the quality of the segment. That's just Brian's bad brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you get a weekly
25
Patreon.
years of doing this, man. It just wears down everybody.
Yeah. Weekly Patreon exclusive pre-show podcast. Occasionally, there'll be unedited episodes of RFC exclusive to patrons. You'll get There Goes My Money a week early. Patrons at the touch tier get to be on There Goes My Money, which is recorded twice monthly
On average.
If you are on Discord and connected to the Discord, you get a fancy color for your name. And touch patrons get to be mentioned on the show each week and listed at tfradio.net/credits. And if you want to join these fine people, again, go to tfradio.net/Patreon or patreon.com/tfradio. They both work because Brian set that up because Brian's memory is bad. But I'm going to mention all these people now. And I have to write it down because, again, 25 years, bad memory. Kevin Dorsey, Daniel Scott, Jacob and Lucia, Sean Bratton, Emmett Stresovich, Hector Bones, Jay Klein Rye, Joey Russell, Here's Why It's Cool, Rabbits, Ryan Bona, Sean Hamilton, Sean Williamson, Spider Bob, Trickster, Nathan's Fast Talk Food Reviews, and Mollis Koenig. Thank you all so much. And again, patreon.com/tfradio if you want to join these fine, fine people. You can find 25 years. Well, I mean, again, let me asterisk. We have podcasts going back 25 years.
Yeah.
Like on average, we've done a little better than what? 1.5 podcasts, or a little less than 1 podcast a week. There were a few years when it was kind of scant. We didn't have a whole lot posted, but podcasts going back 25 years, there's like over 3,000 podcasts episodes posted at tfradio.net.
Including for like extra shows that we don't do anymore.
Lots of extra shows that we don't do anymore. But you can find
I miss some of them.
Yeah, me too. You can find those at tfradio.net. John DeLuna, he is not here. He is at that John D everywhere, except on eBay where he's Cloudburst. I need to check and see if he's posted anything. Rob Springer, not here. He's at Rob Springer on Twitter, zonebase.bsky.social, and at zonebase.org. Basically, anything I do worth a darn is at briankilby.com. Don, where's the stuff that you do that's worth a darn?
Absolutely nowhere. But I can be found on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. I can also be reached on Blue Sky at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.bluesky.social. I have a Amazon webpage, if anyone would Amazon page, if anyone would like to take a look at it. For myself, my wife, or for Hank, tfradio.net/Donlist.
Cool. Diecast.
You can get a hold of me on Twitter at Diecast2, on Facebook, Reviews by Diecast. YouTube, you can see some reviews at tfradio.net/reviews. And then youtube.com/RFC reviews. And you also, is that it? I forget. Yeah, I think
that's it.
Diecast is
my Patreon or my Amazon wish list.
Oh yeah.
tfradio.net/diecast list.
Yeah, Diecast is as sleepy as I am. Matt.
I have completely given up on social media, but melvar.bsky.social still technically exists.
Cool. Chris.
I mean, I have an on and off relationship with social media. It's on when I remember that it's there, and it's off the rest of the time. When it's on, though, I'm Chris RTXV on Blue Sky. My website with all the things I've done photography wise since 2018, I think, is playwithphotography.com. I have an Amazon wish list that's probably been around as long as that, if not a little bit longer, which is at tfradio.net/chrislist. And it's the same case with Diecast's wish list and Rob's that he'll get to in a minute. All those work through the Amazon affiliate program, which is another way to help support RFC and everything we do here by throwing a little bit of referral money. But as always, of course, as we stress during Elf on a Shelf one more time, tfradio.net/elf derives no referral fees for us because that is it's a process that we do on the goodness of our hearts and the desire to help with no return.
And you can also be found in our Discord.
That's right, tfradio.net/discord. I think we've been a little bit lax on pushing that this episode, but yeah, absolutely come hang out on our Discord. I'm there a lot of the time, and it's a great place to connect in a really chill environment with other similarly minded fans.
True. Rob.
I'm sometimes on the Discord at tfradio.net/discord, usually replying to something that somebody said while I was asleep 12 hours ago. But beyond that, you can find me on Blue Sky at robflails.bsky.social. Technically kind of connected to Flailthroughs, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@flailthroughs, which covers Gundam games primarily. Gundam Breaker 4 just got an update last night that put in the Gundam Calibarn from Witch and Mercury and Mighty Strike Freedom from Gundam Seed Freedom. Shout out to the recently departed, as in the company, PR rep Nick Nielsen, who used to hook me up with Gundam stuff, and also was the one who basically committed the U.S. advertising budget to creating those Gunpla for the game when the pre-orders were so strong. Also, cover Gundam Battle Operation 2. Update for that every Thursday. If you like what I'm doing over there, patreon.com/flailthroughs, where you can just request rounds in GBO2, builds in Breaker 4. And yes, I do have an Amazon wish list as well at tfradio.net/playlist.
Very cool. We will see you next week on our 25th anniversary episode. Have a good one.
Oh, cripes.
Take care, all.
Will be a quarter of a century old.
Recording stopped.
Okay. Hey, people watching live, I'm killing the stream because I'm going to go to bed.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Goodbye, Twitch.
Awesome.
And in a second, we'll say goodbye to YouTube. Forever.
Because YouTube is special.
YouTube is special.
In the bad way.
That's made it over the stream.
Generally.
Yeah.